He stood a majestic 5'5", weighed around 100 pounds, and maybe had a harem. That's what scientists figure from the footprints he left behind some 3.7 million years ago. Hess evidently the tallest known member of the pre-human species, best known for the fossil skeleton nicknamed Lucy, reaching a stature no other member of our family tree matched for another 1.5 million years, the researchers say. The 13 footprints are impressions left in volcanic ash that later hardened into rock, excavated last year in northern Tanzania in Africa. Their comparatively large size, averaging a bit over 10 inches long, 26 centimeters, suggest they were made by a male member of the species known as Australopithecus afarensis. The prints were found at a site called Litoli, which is famous for another set of smaller footprints left by other afarensis individuals. Those made headlines in the 1970s as the earliest clear evidence of upright walking by our ancestors. The newly discovered prints are only about 160 yards 150 meters away. Researchers named the new creature S1 for the first discovery made at the S site. From the footprints, they calculated that he stood about 5'5", roughly 165 centimeters, and weighed around 100 pounds, about 45 kilograms. They figured that he loomed at least 8 inches more than 20 centimeters above the individuals who made the other tracks, and stood maybe 3 inches 7 centimeters taller than a large afarensis specimen previously found in Ethiopia. Lucy, also from Ethiopia, was much shorter at about 3 feet 107 centimeters. The findings are described in a report released Wednesday by the journal eLife. Authors include Giorgio Manzi of Sapienza University in Rome, Marco Sharon of the University of Perugia in Italy, and others. Nobody knows the ages or sexes of any of the track makers, although the size of the latest footprints suggest they were made by a male. It's quite possible that the new discovery means afarensis males were a lot bigger than females, with more of a difference than what is seen in modern humans, the researchers say. That's not a new idea, but it's still under debate. The large male-female disparity suggests afarensis may have had a gorilla-like social arrangement of one dominant male with a group of females, and their offspring, the researchers said. But not everybody agrees with their analysis of S1's height. Their estimate is suspect, says anthropologist William Youngers, a research associate at the Association Vihadra in Madagascar, who wrote a commentary on the study. That's because scientists haven't recovered enough of an afarensis foot to reliably calculate height from footprints, he said in an email. Philip Reno, an assistant anthropology professor at Penn State who didn't participate in the new work, said he believed the height estimate was in the right ballpark, but he's not convinced that S1 was really taller than the large Ethiopian afarensis. So rather than setting a record, I think it confirms about the size we thought the big specimens were, Reno said. Manzi and Sharon said they can't be sure S1 was taller than the Ethiopian specimen. We only suggest, they wrote in an email. The holidays are the season of giving and taking. According to one 2015 survey, 23 million Americans say they've had packages stolen right from their doorsteps. And that number is expected to go up as more people shop online. In fact, it just happened to me a few weeks ago on an item I ordered online on Black Friday. With the holidays coming up and more online deliveries coming my way, having more packages stolen is the last thing I need, so I looked into some ways I could prevent it from happening again. 1. Track your package in real time. You can get text or email alerts on the status of your delivery and track your package all the way to your door. On UPS's site, the free service, UPS MYCHOACE, allows you to reroute your package to the closest access point, or you can pick it up if you don't expect to be home on time. On FedEx Delivery Manager, both the mobile app and site allow you to choose a window of time for your delivery to arrive for a small fee, to rent a mailbox. Some carriers won't deliver to a P.O. box, so look into a mailbox rental service that gives you a real street address and package acceptance from all carriers. But before signing up, shop around in your neighborhood to see who offers the best rates, as most locations are independently owned, so rates and minimum length agreements vary. 3. Bolt a lock box outside your door. If you live in a house where you can bolt a box to a stone, concrete, or wood surface, you might want to invest in a parcel drop box or lock box. For $130, you can mount this steel gorilla box to the side of your home. Or for $500, Landport offers a large lock box with a key code that you can give to your delivery man. It's a hefty price, but it can store quite a bit, making it a good solution for small businesses. 2. 4. Monitor your entrance with a doorbell camera. The going rate for DIY doorbell cam that you can install on your own is around $200. Once the device is connected to your Wi-Fi, you can access a clear view of your entrance any time of day. Many of these doorbell cameras also allow you to speak to whoever is at your door. If that's too high-tech for you to do on your own, there are services, like Vivint, that install smart home security solutions for about $60 a month, if you sign for a 3 to 5 year contract. It comes with a doorbell camera that even lets you control the locks with a tap of your finger, so you can talk to your delivery man and ask him to leave the package inside your door. Once you unlock it for a few seconds, 5 scare thieves away with an easy trick. All of the suggestions above can be great for long-term security solutions, but what about a quick and dirty trick? For less than 20, buy and install a dummy video camera. All you need are some batteries to make the record light blink and the ability to keep a secret. I've done it before and no one ever knew it was fake until now. What are some ways you're safeguarding yourself from being a victim? A NASA scientist is warning that Earth is due for an extinction-level event, like a comet or asteroid strike, and claims there won't be anything we can do to stop it. Joseph Knuth, an award-winning scientist at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, told attendees during Monday's annual American Geophysical Union meeting in San Francisco that policymakers should start preparing for such a possible cataclysmic strike, despite the extremely long odds of it happening. But on the other hand, they are the extinction-level events, things like dinosaur killers. They are 50 to 60 million years apart, essentially, Knuth said. You could say, of course, or do, but it's a random course at that point. Making matters even worse is Knuth's claim that humanity isn't close to being prepared for such a threat, The Guardian reported. The biggest problem, basically, is there's not a hell of a lot we can do about it at the moment, Knuth said. Knuth is calling on NASA to build 2 spacecraft, an interceptor rocket and an observer spacecraft. If a comet or asteroid poses a strong enough threat to Earth, the rocket, which would be capable of carrying a nuclear bomb, could mitigate the possibility of a sneaky asteroid coming in from a place that's hard to observe, like from the sun, he said. But NASA would need to drastically reduce the typical 5-year span between mission approval and launch to make any such last-minute deflection attempt a possibility. It's really imperative that we reduce that reaction time, Knuth said. Space.com reports that NASA would need to make a formal request to Congress to approve such a mission. We're talking a considerable amount of money, Knuth said. The NASA request would probably be for several $100 million to produce one of these spacecraft. Knuth stressed that he wasn't speaking on behalf of NASA, saying he's not a policymaker at the space agency. I'm not even in the administration of NASA, he said. So this is more of a scientific recommendation, Knuth said. Earth had a close encounter just 2 years ago, when a comet passed within cosmic spitting distance of Mars. The cosmic snowball of frozen gases was discovered just 22 months before its near collision with the red planet. If you look at the schedule for high-reliability spacecraft and launching them, it takes 5 years to launch a spacecraft, Knuth said. We had 22 months of total warning. But NASA officials, in a statement to the Post, said not to worry for at least the next century. NASA places a high priority on finding and characterizing any hazardous asteroids and comets as much in advance as possible, to have sufficient time to protect our home planet from a potential impact, the statement reads. The agency continues to aggressively develop strategies and plans with partners in the U.S. and abroad to enhance our identification and tracking efforts, and develop options for mitigation and planetary defense. The statement continued. To date, approximately 95% of potentially hazardous asteroids and comets larger than 1 kilometer in size that could pose danger to Earth have been found. Additionally, there are no detected impact threats for the next 100 years. Knuth is a senior scientist for Primitive Buddies at Goddard Space Flight Center, according to his NASA bio. He has won several awards and commendations throughout his 38-year career, including an Achievement Award in Astrobiology from NASA.